Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Wilkes World. I'm Cheryl.
I'm Lindsay.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Shauna.
We'd like to welcome our special guest co-host this week, Mike. Brian is in prison this week because he stole.
Really a surprise.
All that free stuff he wanted, he kind of stole it. He stole the Klondike bars and the G phone. So Mike graciously filled in for Brian this week.
We're so excited.
Be asking for a lot of free stuff. I'm just happy to be here. I know it's big shoes to fill, but I'll try and do.
That might be wise not to ask for some free stuff because you don't want to end up in Brian's shoes.
Okay. By the way, Brian, we really hope you're all right in prison. We hope you're doing okay. We have a lot of great segments this week that we're very excited about, especially cooking, because we're kind of turning back time a little bit with this week's cooking segment.
Definitely.
All right. Turning back time, Erie, Pennsylvania. Anonymous friend gives $100 million to the town. An anonymous friend divided among 46 charities in the town the $100 million to a food bank, a women's center, a group for the blind, and 3 universities. The president of the Erie Community Foundation is vowing to keep the donors secret. The donor does not want to be known about who's giving the money. He doesn't want his identity to be known. They're not saying whether if a donor is dead or alive or if he has any connection to Erie whatsoever. A lot of people in the town are kind of complaining that they don't know who this is. Like, they really want to know who this person is. And then the torn's also kind of torn in half where some people are like, yeah, we want to know who this person is. And other people are like, no, we don't. So what do you guys think about it?
I think that's really great, especially this time of the year with the holidays coming around. And, I mean, Thanksgiving is only 2 weeks away. And I think that's really good that, you know, somebody gave that much money to all these organizations. And, I mean, if they don't want themselves to be known, then, you know.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
So it is.
I mean, it was nice enough that this person donated money. What are they complaining about that? They don't know who it's like anonymous. Like,
yeah,
that's wonderful.
And it said the one lady who was the director of the homeless shelter cried when she got $2 million because the largest donation they've ever received was $25,000.
Must be nice to have $100 million to just give away. Definitely.
Yeah.
There's good people that would do that. It's nice that they're not selfish and, you know, spending it on ridiculous things like a lot of wealthy people do.
Yeah. In another issue with TV, on November 27th, the FCC might think about also starting to regulate cable. Right now, only broadcast cable is really being regulated. There was, in 1984, when they passed the Cable Act, there was a 70-70 rule, which said as long as 70% of the audience doesn't subscribe to cable, it doesn't have to be regulated. But now the chairman of FCC, Kevin Martin, is saying that the conditions of the 70-70 rule have now been met, so now they're going to talk about regulating cable.
That'll be interesting to see, you know, how they do
the
that.
good old FCC.
Yeah.
There's always something to say about them. Did you guys ever see the Family Guy episode?
I did.
With the FCC song? How hilarious is that?
That was pretty funny. That was great. They do a lot of good stuff.
All right, well, we're going to take it over to Candace and Gino for some Beacon News.
Hey, welcome back to another week of Beacon News. I'm Gino.
And I'm Candace.
And we're here to bring you the hottest stories around Wilkes-Barre.
Yes, and our first story many of you are probably very familiar with. It talks about how protesters assembled in response to bringing former Mexican President Vicente Fox to speak with students about leadership. People gathered on the streets outside of the Kirby Center Monday, November 4th. The goal of their peaceful protest was to stop illegal immigration. Now, I was a little riled by this because an article in the Times Leader talked about how one parent said that Wilkes is poisoning our young students' minds.
So I think that's a little ridiculous.
That's a little over the top.
I saw the protesters out there, and they were going a little crazy.
Yeah, but I say go Wilkes. I like Wilkes.
Yeah, go Wilkes. All right, Candace. How do you feel about ethanol?
Ethanol, it's a big thing right now.
It is a big thing right now. Well, this week, the Wilkes Education Board did a little research, and it turns out it's not all it's hyped up to be. It's less efficient than gasoline, and it's just as dirty.
That's shocking.
So if you want to learn more about it, make sure you check out that article.
I don't want to talk about gas, though. Gas is a little disturbing.
I hate gas. Gas prices are ridiculous.
Yes, they are. Over the top. And for those of you who cringe at the sound of The Real World and MTV's newest reality TV show, A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila, you should check out the article questioning the reality of reality television. In the opinion section, it talks about how reality television is deceptive and should not be labeled as real. It also talks about how controversial scandals that have occurred in reality television in violation of laws enforced by the Communications Act of 1934. So, reality TV.
Reality TV. I don't really like the TV show, but I think Tila
Tila
Tequila's a
Tequila?
cutie.
And, you know, it brings ratings. I mean, it's
She's got my
crazy and over
rating.
the top, but it's bringing ratings.
They've
so,
got my rating.
You know, yeah, me too.
All right. And I know I'm excited because on November 15th, Wilkes University will be holding its first annual Guitar Hero tournament. And there's something there for everybody. A copy of Guitar Hero 3 will be awarded, multiple wireless controllers, and also a $50 gift certificate to GameStop. For more information, make sure you check out the article entitled "Latest Gaming Trends: Riffs on Campus" by Gerard Hetman.
Okay, now I'm hyped up about the Guitar Hero.
I'll be getting my Guitar Hero
I love
on.
Guitar Hero. It's my claim to being good at music, but I'm really not.
Not so much for me, but
I rock out. And remember to pick up your latest copy of The Beacon and check us out on youtube.com/Wilkes World and our new video player on wilkesbeacon.com. Check us out.
all right, make sure you check us out. I'm Gino.
Rockin'. And I'm Candace.
We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.
See, Lindsay, I'm not the only one who talked about Tila Tequila and had something to say about her, okay?
Yeah, she's pretty popular right now. She's all over the place. I don't know. I've actually never seen her.
You should really just watch the show.
She's on MySpace.
Even if it's only,
She
yeah.
was.
That's how she got
Maybe
started.
Maybe once or twice. I don't know. But anyways. So, a new security system in Wilkes-Barre was recently launched. The new command center is geared to give police extra eyes on the streets. City leaders say it will help cut down on crime, but some neighborhoods are skeptical. City leaders had the cameras placed in high crime areas and other spots, like on top of the State Building on South Washington Street. All will be watched around the clock from monitors inside the new Video Surveillance Command Center at Wilkes-Barre Police Headquarters on South Washington Street. The real-time video surveillance in Wilkes-Barre is similar to systems in bigger cities like Chicago. City leaders say the $900,000 price tag was paid for by a grant, all done to help cut down on crime. As of now, there are supposedly 10 cameras in the big city, and the goal in the near future is 130 cameras to make Wilkes-Barre's newest crime-fighting tool as powerful as possible.
That must be how they caught Brian.
Yeah.
It must
Yeah.
be, right?
That's why Brian's in jail today, because the new surveillance.
I was
system
driving
got
around the city yesterday and I actually saw one of these cameras, and I didn't know you were going to be talking about this today. And as you were reading this thing, I was like, that's where I saw. I turned on to Cole Street, I believe it was, and I was looking on Pennsylvania Avenue, and I saw the camera up in the corner. And I was like, oh, what's that all about? And I didn't know.
I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know how effective it's actually going to be. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. I understand they're trying to make Wilkes-Barre a safer place, but there's only 10 cameras. I mean, I know the goal is 130, but there's only 10 cameras right now.
I mean, by the time the cops see it and get there,
exactly.
crime's probably going to get committed. I mean, it might help identify some of the suspects when a crime happens,
Well,
but
supposedly they have. I've actually seen them. They have like police stationed in front of these. Like I think there's 10 surveillance cameras. They're like huge cameras in or monitors in the headquarters, and someone sits there all the time and watches them. So I mean, they might be effective, but I'm kind of like concerned about like. That's kind of creepy,
Big
don't you
Brother's
think?
watching.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
everywhere, no matter
Yeah.
where you go, there are cameras just watching you.
Yeah,
that's I don't know. I was kind of a
that's a
little
little
turned
weird.
off by that, but you know, I mean, I guess it's for the better. Wilkes-Barre has some
I
serious
guess we'll have to
problems
see
with
what
drugs.
happens and see if it helps.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, we're going to take a look at question of the week now, and the question is, who's on the grassy knoll? So let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Monica,
And I'm Mike.
and we're here in the sub with your question of the week.
All right, Wilkes World viewers, we're doing some investigative reporting. We want to get down to the bottom of this once and for all. Who was on the grassy knoll?
I was, Caitlin Tabermiller.
No, Caitlin. I was on top of the grassy knoll.
Was anybody on the grassy knoll?
A goat named Steve.
Darth Vader? Harry. I don't know who was on the grass that I know of, but I was on the grass, you know, bathing, you know, football, everything I can get on the grass and do.
What?
As far as we can tell, who was on the grassy knoll, what was across the street, and I don't know was in the book depository.
Wait, who is on the grassy knoll?
Exactly.
What?
No, he was across the street.
Well, who is on the grassy knoll?
Exactly.
I'm not telling.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Monica. And who was on the grassy knoll? The world may never know.
That's Tootsie Pops. Back to Wilkes World.